All right, YouTube, it's Jack's Holiday. We're going to jump right in it, make this real quick. So, this is part two, and here are the codes that I am getting now for my 2001 Ford Mustang. We've already swapped out the alternator and everything like that. Now we need to swap out these plugs. We're getting these misfire from the cylinder batch. As you can see, getting misfire, cylinder this. So that's telltale sign it's a spark plug. Most of the time, you can just change the spark plug itself, but I decided to just go ahead and change the spark plug wires and the spark plug themselves. All right, so with the '01 Mustang, if you got a cold air intake, like I have here, you're going to have to pop that cold air intake out. You don't have to take the whole thing out, just pop that front part so it expose the outside of those spark plugs. So the goal here is just take them apart one by one. Don't try to start taking them, don't start just pulling and ripping off. Start taking them off one by one. Take the wire, match the wire up to your new one, and just start undoing the spark plug, because you're gonna have a time with it, trying to get that socket in there and trying to undo it. So anyway, like I said, this is a pretty easy task, but it's just kind of complicated getting to the spark plug. Spark plugs, getting them out is your hardest part. Everything else is pretty much just plug and play. Just replace what you put in there. But like I said, you start with the one closest to the front of the engine. You got to dig in there, get in there deep. Find that plug with your fingers. Get that socket on there. Get the ratchet going. Try not to crank it too hard, because normally these don't break. These aren't as delicate as those expedition plugs, so they don't break as easy. But they still can if you have them in there for a good minute. But either way, whether you've had them in there for a long time or a short time, still be careful. Take it easy. Don't go berserk on them, and get them on out of there. All right. So anyway, I get the first one out, and at this point, I'm just pulling the plugs off, keeping the distance, so the distance of the plugs the same, making sure I don't put the wrong one on there, making sure everything is the same length. So once you get that kind of getting out of there, then you want to start greasing it up, greasing up your new plug. They come pre-gapped, so you don't have to worry about that, but you want to get in there and grease it up with your electric grease or Dell grease or whatever they call it, on your threads. Make sure it doesn't get stuck for the next time. And there you can kind of see the difference between a good one and a bad one. It's not getting that spark, so we can clearly tell that this is one of the ones that's causing one of those plug, one of those misfires that's causing the engine light to come on. All right. As you can see here, I'm putting the grease on the threads. You also want to put those inside of the spark plug wire boots, or the inside of the connectors. It should have directions on there which ones you need to do. I put some on each one. So for the thread, it's going to be like a bronze color. The Delta grease is going to be like a silver color. You want to put that in your boot and wherever your connection is. And your thread, of course, that goes on your threads for your spark plugs. And that just keeps it from getting locked in there. All right. So I'm still pulling them out. And I think for me, the ones in the very back closest to your firewall, those are going to be your worst ones, your hardest ones to get in there and get out, the hardest ones to get to, simply because of the angle and the limited amount of space that you have to get in there and pull them out. So you're going to have a time with that. I know I did. But I think I got almost down to my elbow as far as trying to get that stuff out of there. All right, so you can see in the video here, trying to get it in there. I think this is when I was probably at the second one, the one in the middle. It's hard to tell, but either way, I was having the time wherever I was trying to go. You'll be in all kind of yoga positions trying to get these damn spark plugs out. And like I said, once you do, you'll get get your wires, lay them out, and keep them separated, keep them lined up. So once I got over to the driver's side, I think it got a little bit, kind of harder because it's like you're right there by your, your brake booster, and that causes a little bit more. It limits a little bit more space for you to get to. Um, but I'm right-handed, so that also caused a little issue because I'm trying to get it at a certain angle, and I was trying to figure this thing out for a minute. Now, even though I do this, every 2 years, I think, with this car, it's still, it doesn't get easier. It pretty much stays the same. All right, so now I done got them all out, so you can clearly see that those main two right there were a huge problem. And we finally kind of, I got those out of there, got them figured out, got some new ones in, got her fired up, got her running, took her around the block, and got it going. So, like I said, that's the method I use. I'm not gonna go all into detail because it's one of those things where if you don't have any idea about how to get started, this probably shouldn't be something you should try. You should probably just go ahead and try something else, or let somebody else do it, and show you how to do it, because it's definitely going to be a stressful task for you. You might end up breaking some stuff or tearing up the car worse than it already is. I've done that before as well. But anyway, if you got any questions, comments, concern, contradictions, criticism, just hit me up in the comments below. Like, hit, subscribe, whatever you want. And appreciate you guys watching. Peace.